Hello, my friends, and welcome to round one of the NBA 2K three-point contest presented to you by Leisure Features. I'm Kenneth Allen, and with me is Micheal Fortune.
Hey there, Ken. How's it going there, buddy?
I'm doing just great, Michael. How are you?
I'm really excited about this one.
Same here, buddy. Today's video will feature the Brooklyn Nets, and here is the lineup. We have Drazen Petrovic, Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, and Keith Van Horn. This video will kick off our round one series to find out who is the best shooter from their respective team. Each winner from round one will advance to the semifinals and compete with each other to see who is the greatest shooter of all time. Without further ado, let's begin. Up first, we got Drazen Petrovic.
Drazen Petrovic. Pretty clutch.
And he's off, yeah.
Off to a pretty decent start, I want to say.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Must be that Brooklyn atmosphere for him. A lot of energy in that crowd. This guy is off to a wonderful start. I mean, he's really working his third rack here as he goes off to the fourth one. Hopefully, he can just keep the momentum going and probably set the pace. And you know, whenever you do go first in the three-point round, you kind of want to set a good high standard for the remaining participants. Money rack now. He's already at 15 points. He needs every shot from here.
Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, he spent too much time on that second rack personally. Next up is Deron Williams. Pretty decent shooter. I believe he's the point guard for the Brooklyn Nets. And he's already off to a pretty strong start. I think that first one was an in and out. Nope, it actually bounced off. So far he's 3 for 5, that first rack, and he's making his way around to the second one. And finding his momentum, this is his sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. So look for him to be pretty good there. He was 4 out of 5 at the top of the key, moving on to the third rack. Deron's playing with a lot of tenacity here, and he's looking to pretty much set the pace for the remaining participants as he moves on to the fourth rack when he gets a really, really good vision from this angle. And Ken, I think this guy is going to be the one to possibly lead the first round.
I think so.
Last shot, bank it. Call it 24 points with 7.9 seconds left to spare on the clock. Deron's walking off with complete confidence as Joe Johnson looks to step up and see if he can match up with what Deron just put up on the board. His first shot, no good. Second attempt, no love. Finally lands his first one on the first rack and was able to get a second shot as well. Money shot went in as well. He's up to 4 points. I like how Joe keeps his form there, Ken. Trying to remain calm even under the pressure after such a great round that Deron just put up for himself.
Yeah, it looks like it's working out for him perfectly.
Yeah, that was a good little in and out shot. He's at 10 points now. I think if he just takes his time, he does have plenty of time left on the clock, but not too much time to spare. But he's not looking so hot on this fourth rack, but did land the money shot. Now at 14 points. Now he does have 7 seconds and 3 balls, 2, and final shot.
All right.
22. Just 2 points short. I think he kind of got that from when he rushed through his last few shots in the fourth. Up next is Richard Jefferson. Fun fact, my uncle used to be his personal bodyguard when he attended a certain nightclub in NYC. I think it's no longer in business, but we'll leave it at that.
Very interesting, Michael.
Yeah, fun times. Even though Richard Jefferson does remind me of those aliens from Predator. From Aliens versus Predator.
We're just kidding, Richard.
Yeah, Richard, you're freaking wonderful. And Sam Cassell definitely looks like one of those aliens. I always loved Richard Jefferson's in the paint game. He's always been a good, decent shooter, but one hell of he had a lot of heart and always drove to the hole.
And he also has a great score for being on the fourth rack.
I absolutely agree. already at 14 points with now 12 seconds left on the clock. I think he should kind of be a little more expeditious through this last rack here. And I think he's going to possibly even tie.
Oh!
No, he's taking the lead with 1 ball to spare. Way to go, Richard.
Wow.
Up next we have Vince Air Canada Carter. Oh, another one who I do admire his aggressiveness and willingness to go and drive to the hole. Vince has always been a pretty decent shooter and still actually has a career within the NBA. He's about 50 years old, but he still can ball like he's 20. Is at the top of the key. He's not looking too hot here in this 3-point. I don't look for him to progress on, but I still think he can give us a pretty decent show. Maybe we could possibly get him in on the slam dunk contest, like the good old days.
Very good possibility.
And we're now on to the final rack, the money rack. It's a possibility that Vince can possibly even. Oh, very close.
He would have tied first.
Yeah, even he knows it in his face that he kind of.
Right now he has a spot in the finals, so we'll see what Keith Van Horn can do.
Oh man, babyface Van Horn. Let's see what he comes up with. So far, breezing through this first rack, but putting up fairly okay numbers. He's now moving on to the second rack where he's continuing with his momentum, but he's taking way better looks and taking better shots. Now moving on to the third rack here. Ken, I think this guy can possibly hang around if he can land the next few couple shots. How do you feel about that?
His performance right now is definitely showing that.
I absolutely agree, Ken. Keith Van Horn, I do recall with a few clutch game shots that put his team in position to walk away with a couple of victories there.
And he takes it. Or he ties for first place.
He actually ties. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting outcome, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have 2 players, Richard Jefferson and Keith Van Horn. My money's going to be on Van Horn for this tiebreaker. How do you feel about that, Ken?
I'm going to have to agree with you again. I think Van Horn is going to he's going to find a way to get through. And if he doesn't, then you know what you do.
Absolutely. I think Darren Williams could be the possible sleeper in these next few matches. I mean, he is 3 for 5 as he was the first time on the floor, and he actually did a pretty decent job setting the pace for the first round. So he's moving on here fairly okay. In and out ball. Now at the top of the key, which, as I mentioned before, is one of his favorite spots aside from the top right. Hopefully he could just land this last shot, which he did. Puts him in a different position than his competitors. Now at 13 points. If he could bank this money shot to be at 16, which he does, Darren has plenty of time left on the clock. He's now on the money rack, and so far he is 4 for 3. 3 for 5, excuse me. 24-point finish. Not a really bad round. Next up is Richard Jefferson. Let's see what he can do. And Richard has only been able to land 1 point so far. Hopefully things can change around. This second rack showing him a little more love. Now at the top of the key. Richard's now on his 4th rack at 12 points. I still think he's not going to be able to come up with the victory here, but it still is very, very interesting to watch him compete. Now I'm on to the money rack. Richard, perhaps I've spoken too soon, or perhaps I haven't. It was fun while it lasted, Richard. Good luck. And up next we have Keith Van Horn, who I believe is possibly going to walk away with the winning score. Let's just take a look and see what he cooks up. Keith's on to his second rack. His first rack he actually went through fairly well, 3 out of 5. Now he's on to the second and doing just as decent. But if he wants to win, he's really got to step it up in these next few shots. Make everyone count. 23 seconds left on the clock. He's on to the 4th rack. And our winner is Darren Williams. Congratulations to Darren Williams and the Brooklyn Nets. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Please subscribe.
Thank you.